Remember the cartoon, The Jetsons? It was a cartoon based about the future. They had robot maids and cars in the sky and cities in the sky, etc. It was a futuristic cartoon that I watched growing up, and I'm 59 years old. So people my age would probably remember it. And I think they made a movie called The Jetsons movie, or they brought the cartoon back recently. I know within the past 10 to 20 years, if not before then. But anyway, that was a cartoon based on the way people saw the future from the 1950s onward. They all thought the year 2000 would be the year we'll be living in cities in the sky and cars will be driving in the sky. And 2000 came and that never happened. So whatever happened to that image that people had of the future? And even when 2000 did come around, there was still this feeling that the future would be similar to what we thought it would be 40, 50 years prior. Cities in the sky, cars in the sky, moving sidewalks through the city, etc. Why hasn't that happened? Why haven't we gotten any closer to anything that resembles that? Is that an accurate depiction of what we should see the future to be? I'm no authority on the future by no means. I'm no authority on anything, to be honest with you. But I do have a take on why the future has been so slow and sluggish to arrive on planet Earth. I have an instinctual attunement, I can call it, that's not based on any scientific facts or any kind of evidence, but it's based on intuition and just knowing. And I want to share that. They say there's two basic frequencies that we vibrate on, high frequency or low frequency. Low frequencies are the frequency that's in tune with hate and anger, fear, anxiety. All of those things are tuned to a low frequency. And the high frequency would be the complete opposite: love, compassion, etc. They say for a long time that planet Earth and its inhabitants have always, or for a long time, have been grounded in the lower frequencies. And it is also, I've learned that for anything to exist outside the low frequency, everything would have to change. The planet and all of its inhabitants would have to raise the frequency in order to move into a different state of existing. Free energy, cars in the sky, cities in the sky, all of that stuff needs to be based and grounded in a higher frequency. Anything other than what we are used to can't be manifested, can't come to fruition in a low frequency environment, on a low frequency planet like we live now. Picture this. A pregnant woman has 9 months to deliver. Anything beyond that, the longer she carries that baby in her, she risks her life and the child's life, toxicity sets in, and that could harm or even kill the baby and the mother. That's a scenario that I use for what has happened and what's going on with humanity today and moving into the future. It is said that we have been part of this existence in this low frequency for a long time. Eons, thousands, millennia, I don't know. But they say for a long time. And it has finally run its course. It's like the 9th month of pregnancy. And from my understanding, we are in like the week after 9 months, or even later than that. It's becoming a crisis for us to stay in this duration. We are putting ourselves, humanity, at risk of becoming extinct, and the other inhabitants of the planet are being sacrificed because of humanity's inability to raise its frequency. Well, the Creator is not going to allow that. The human race is not part of an extinction process, I don't believe. So the Creator put situations, people, scenarios into the human existence to move us forward, because we are in the ninth month, 1 week state where we have to deliver. Humanity has to come out of this state because we are getting toxic, because we've been in it longer than we were meant to be. So the Creator sends in leaders, individuals, and place them strategically to help raise the frequency of the planet and the species. Some leaders are put on the west, some leaders are put on the east. Individuals are put in America, individuals are put in Africa, Asia, all over the planet to help raise the frequency of the planet and humanity. Kind of like when a doctor has to induce labor. That's kind of like what's happening to us right now. Labor is being induced because we haven't come up out of this state of existence. So creation has to intervene and induce labor on humanity. Now, let's move from that thought for a few minutes to another thought. Every individual, every nation has to be responsible for raising their own frequency. It can't be done from the outside, from outside influences. It can't be, there can be interference from outside influences, but every individual is responsible for his or her frequency being raised. And so is every nation. The United States is one of the countries right now who has a low frequency on the planet. An example of a frequency of a country whose frequency is consistently raising is China. They are consistently raising the frequency of their nation. Is the reason why the technology in China is off the chain. Is because they're able to maintain what it takes to keep that type of technology going because of the frequency bubble that they're in. The United States and every other country on the planet, their leaders have to start implementing higher frequencies of existing in their country. And the people that are in these positions to get the planet on a higher frequency are having to do so by the means by which creation has given them. These are not random, willy-nilly means that's coming from a low-frequency mindset that these people in these countries in the United States are implementing. These are things that are coming from a higher frequency that a low-base nation, the people of a low-base nation, probably won't understand unless the individual has raised their consciousness enough to understand. Trust the process. Creation has a plan for us to move forward. The human race is not going to become extinct. It would if labor was not induced. It would if there wasn't intervention from a higher power. And that higher power has people in place to help induce the labor of the planet. As each nation begin to reset and clean up their nation, the people of that nation will begin to understand the necessity of what is happening and will make the necessary adjustments within themselves and their personal lives to accommodate the new frequencies of the planet. I don't know if everyone understands, but we are the future. We are part of the future. So it is necessary for us as individuals to pull our weight and play our part in this awakening process. Of course, I'm not a woman, but I think if you ask any woman who have had her labor induced, I don't think it's a comfortable thing. I really don't, just because of the fact that she's been pregnant for too long. That's got to be uncomfortable. And whatever that process is of inducing, that can't be too comfortable either. So it's an uncomfortable process all the way around. Well, I don't know how far away we are from flying cars and cities in the sky, but the future is here and we're working on taking it even further because we have to, and it's time. I hope I expressed myself well enough for people to understand my thoughts. Sometimes I have a problem with actually communicating what I'm feeling sometimes. I'm a writer and I can communicate almost perfectly in my writing. So I hope my communication was well enough for people to follow. I'm a futurist and a humanitarian. And everything I just said came from that space. It came from a space of seeing humanity move into the future, and it came from a place of caring. In my opinion, the only certainty is that humanity will get through this, and we will rise above it. You know, I made this video because a lot of our leaders in this country right now are getting a lot of flack and a lot of grief for doing something that's helping humanity. They're doing something that they're called and they're being led to do, and they're getting grief from either, I don't know, the guilty or the people that don't understand, or the people who are still associating the old way of doing things, and that there's got to be some kind of trick behind it and this, that, and the other. I don't know where all that hatred and all that grief these people are getting and coming from. And I'm speaking specifically about the president and Mr. Musk. You know, they're getting a lot of flack, and it's kind of sad to see, to know what's going on and to understand the process and to see it happen. trying to be hampered in that way. The process can't be changed. It's an inevitable process. The job will get done, but these poor guys and anybody who's involved in the process, like I am, in a close relationship with the process, understands what it means to have this type of warfare coming against you. I understand it. And so I made this video to hopefully shed some light to people who maybe don't understand that these people are called and led to do what they do, because they can get the job done. A higher power, God, creator, creation, that's what I call it, whatever you call it, has put these people in place to do a specific job that has to be done. And I just got the feeling that a lot of people really don't understand why this has to be done. Or if they do understand, for the life of me, I can't understand why would they give these people so much grief. But there's a lot that I don't understand. So, but that's the reason why I made this video.